Have you ever gone to an energy healer? Are you familiar with healing modalities and what that means? Well, thanks for joining us. You're in the right place if that's what you're interested in. I'm Michelle Wildflower, the host and facilitator for the Women's Empowerment and Spiritual Awakening Retreats. And for this whole month of August on the Wildflower Woo Woo Show, we're going to be discussing healing modalities and what those mean to you and how they might be beneficial and what ways you can use energy healing in this episode to assist you in your wellness journey. How does that sound? Is that something you're interested in? Are you familiar with healing modalities? So, the phrase healing modalities encompasses a world of varying techniques that have been used around the world that are known to help people feel better and help them heal their bodies, minds, and spirit. And that could be in many different ways. For this episode, episode 17, we're going to be talking about energy healing. Has anyone ever... Oh, a hawk just flew over, so I always take that as a good sign, right? Any kind of wildlife sighting. And hawks mean different things to different peoples in our animal um, zoomancy episode. Sorry, it was hard for me to think of it. We discussed what it means when you see animals and different sightings and at different moments in time. So that's an episode you can check out if you're interested in that. But anyway, getting back to today's episode of energy healing. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the word energy, or I'm just going to give you a little background. So basically, every living cell in our body, I'm just going to adjust this a little bit because I feel like it's cutting off my head a little bit. I feel like it might be better if you can actually see the top of my head instead of cutting it off. There we go. That's better. Is that better for you? Hopefully. So, every living cell in our body is vibrating at its own frequency, kind of like an electrical being. We are electrical beings. So, when we bring other items or products, or such as stones or plants, into our energy field, it affects our vibration. Our energy field extends about 3 feet around us, and that's why sometimes, when people get close to you, you might feel like, gosh, why are they standing so close? Because they're actually within your energy field that emanates out from your body. And so even if they're not touching you, it could still feel uncomfortable if you're someone who's sensitive to others' energies to have someone so close within your energy field. And there's things that you can do to work on your energy field to push it out more and give yourself more of a barrier around yourself if you know that you're going into situations that are going to be uncomfortable or confrontational. But that's an episode for another time. What we're talking about now is energy healing in this episode, and ways that we can adjust our vibration to accommodate the healing that can happen within our bodies if we just give our bodies what it needs. And actually, all disease and symptoms and conditions each have their own vibration. So there's such a thing known as a biofeedback machine. Has anyone ever heard of that? You can type yes in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. And it's actually a machine that you can hook yourself up to. And if you had cancer, it would come up with a number, and it will tell you that frequency is actually a cancerous frequency. Autoimmune disease has its own frequency. Arthritis has its own frequency. Basically, every disease or condition that we might suffer from or come in contact with has its own vibration or frequency. And that's why if we can keep our vibration high, then it's harder for anything that comes within our energy field to penetrate or to bring us down. You know how, like, sometimes if you're having a great day, you're feeling really good, and then all of a sudden you come in contact with a friend or someone, and it could be a confrontation on the street, or someone that you come in contact with, a neighbor, anyone it could be, and then after the interaction you're not quite feeling as well as you were before, and that's because of energy, right? It's like you were vibrating at your own frequency, and then you came into contact with this person who was vibrating at their own frequency, and they could have brought your frequency down. They could affect your vibration. So there's things that we do, lifestyle choices and mindfulness techniques that we can learn to try to adjust our energy if we're feeling like our energy's low, or just like I said, if you feel like someone interfered with your vibration or your frequency with their negative energy, or if you feel just, say, under the weather, or like you just need something more, and sometimes you can't explain it when your energy's off. You just have, it might not even show up as physical sickness. If we don't take care of energetic imbalances, they can show up as physical sickness. So the best thing we can do is try to align, adjust, and balance our energy every day to try to ensure that we are in our most optimal health that we could possibly be in, right? Because if we're enjoying supreme health, then we're able to do, I forget who it was, a doctor, one of the doctors said that I've studied, said health is being able, is your body being able to do what your mind wants to do. And I think that's a wonderful analogy, because that is a sign of health. You might have a feeling that, oh, I'd like to do this, but how sad is it if you're not able to because your body can't keep up with your mind? So if we can keep our mind and our bodies and our spirits all aligned and balanced and healthy, then that's going to help us to be more balanced and emotionally healthy and physically healthy in our present situations, our living situations, our families, our jobs, our hobbies, whatever it is that we're doing, right? If we're feeling better, then what we're putting out is going to be better, and what we're bringing in, we're going to be more able to deal with if our energy is more balanced, right? So I was thinking that maybe we could try just closing our eyes for a minute. I'm not sure where you're at, if you're in a place that's quiet or not, but I just wanted you to feel, if you stop for a moment and try this breathing exercise, it actually switches your vagus nerve, which changes the energy inside your body, and your sympathetic nervous system switches to your parasympathetic nervous system, which is like another episode for another time. But basically, it's a way of changing our energy and affecting our vibration in a positive way, so that if you were feeling kind of off, you could use this technique. How does that sound? Type yes in the comments if you're with me. Even if you're watching the replay, that's okay. You can still interact, and it'll help to anchor this information into your brain. Okay, so let's just try closing our eyes for a minute. Take a deep breath in. If you can count to 4 while you're taking in that breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold it for 2 seconds, and then release it to the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now let's do it one more time. Breathe in, take a deep breath to the count of 4. And just kind of listen to your surroundings around you. And hold your breath for 2 seconds. And then release to the count of 6. And just really try to tune in to what's going on around you. Not listening to the internal chatter within your head. Just turn your attention out. If you listen to the noises and sounds in your surroundings, it actually helps you to get out of your head. And now you can just open your eyes and see how you feel. sometimes just taking a moment to take ourselves out of our present situation. You know, if you were, say, you were waiting for your child to come out of school or camp or something, and you had a moment, and that was the only moment you had in a day, it would be a better time to do it then than not do it at all. And some other modalities that we can focus on or that you could find out about. Reiki is one. And basically, what Reiki is it's drawing down a universal cosmic healing energy down into the individual that's the Reiki practitioner, and then they're pouring it out into you. I'm actually a Reiki master, and I Reiki all of our products, all of our CBD products at Nature's Mysteries Apothecary. And what it does is it just brings the vibration of the products to a higher level of healing, so their potential to heal is higher. And there was actually research done by Dr. Emoto that I wrote about in my book, Discover the Essence of Plant Medicine, the 5 Principles of Life-Saving Herbs, Cannabis Edition, which is the herbal textbook for Nature's Mysteries Academy of Holistic Health. And in there, we wrote about the experiments that were done by Dr. Emoto, who's a Japanese doctor, and he did experiments with water, and he put like sayings. For us, it would be words. I'm not sure. Characters, I think, is what they call them. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't want to say the wrong thing for Japanese writing. But he put writing on the jars for of water, and some said, you know, like, you fool, or the equivalent of hate, and the equivalent of love, and then had subjects project their feelings of that emotion onto the water. And then he froze the water and looked at it under a microscope, and the water that had love projected at it looked beautiful and made beautiful snowflakes. And the water that had negative emotions projected at it actually did not look like healthy water. It didn't look like a healthy molecule at all. It was like kind of oddly shaped and had holes in it and looked like, it's hard to explain a distorted water molecule, but it definitely was distorted. And you could look up his research, Dr. Emoto. So what we're thinking definitely has an impact on what we are feeling and doing. So the Reiki practitioner is actually drawing down, like I said, healing energy and projecting it into the person who's receiving the Reiki. And it's not really coming from the practitioner. It's a healing energy. You kind of move yourself over and allow this vessel of healing energy to come through you and project onto the person that you are treating at the moment. So that's an option. And it doesn't, you don't have to be touched during it if you're someone who's sensitive to touch. The person who's Reikiing you could just lay their hands above you. It's not something that requires being touched. So that's an energetic healing that's available to you. Also, there's acupressure and acupuncture. Acupressure, it doesn't utilize any needles, but acupuncture actually does. And our bodies actually have energy centers. There are meridians on either side, and we have energy flowing one way and the opposite way on the other side. And sometimes those energy centers can get blocked. We have meridians all throughout our bodies, and we have so the word's leaving me at the moment, but all throughout our bodies there's possibilities of having blockages. Same with chakras. We have 7 chakras, and if your chakras were blocked, that could cause energetic imbalances as well. So any kind of Reiki or acupressure or acupuncture is going to help to decrease those imbalances and try to bring the body back into balance. And another option is crystal therapy. So bringing crystals into our energetic field can affect our vibration as well. And there's so many different crystals that are available to us that you could either follow your intuition, go to your local crystal shop and follow your intuition to the crystals that you feel drawn to. Usually, if you use that method, and then when you get to the crystal that you felt drawn to and you look up its properties, oftentimes it ends up that that was exactly what you needed, and you could carry it with you, rub it, you could meditate with it, you could actually lay crystals on parts of your body that are achy or experiencing imbalances, discomforts, or disease. And there's a whole array of physical properties that crystals have that they're able to that we are able to utilize and enjoy just by placing them within our energy field, carrying them with us, or like I said, placing them on specific parts of the body. So those affirmations, right? If we're thinking positive thoughts and we're saying, I feel better, my life is exactly what I want it to be, I enjoy extreme health, that also is changing our vibration, because everything we think and feel and emote, put out there, has its own vibration and frequency to it. And if you're not familiar with what I'm speaking of, there's actually something known as the scale of consciousness. You can look it up. And so it actually shows you all the different feelings that people have and what they might be experiencing. And 500 would be the highest vibration that there is, the highest frequency that you could attain. And that is the vibration of enlightenment and love. Sorry, my dog is out here and I just don't want him, come here, boo, to go around the court. Here, come here, boo. So 500 is the vibration of love and enlightenment. And believe it or not, when you are vibrating that high, disease actually can't get in. It's just like cancer can only grow in a hospitable environment. If your body is inhospitable to cancer, then it can't grow. So it's not like just anyone could get cancer at any time. It takes very specific conditions for that to happen. Excuse me. So if what we're thinking and feeling has its own vibration to it, then it's very important that what we're thinking and feeling remains high if we want to heal or avoid disease, discomfort, and other nasty conditions that we don't want to experience. So feelings of like guilt and shame, those vibrate at about 200, 100, 150, around there. But like I said, feelings of love are vibrating high. So if we can try to keep our minds thinking thoughts that are positive, that are high vibration, of love and gratitude and joy, then that's also a way of boosting our immune function so that we are healing ourselves. And it's such an easy thing to do that once you try it, you might be surprised how easy it is and how well you feel. So you could try affirmations, you could try Reiki, you could use crystals or gemstone therapy. And one more thing I wanted to discuss was plant allies, because plants definitely, or mushrooms, herbal medicine, let's say that. Herbal medicine can definitely affect our vibration in a positive way and help us to achieve the wellness that we're seeking by utilizing plants and bringing them into our energetic field, whether that means as tea blends or rubbing them on our bodies, meditating with them, using them as incense. There's so many different ways that we can utilize the healing properties from our plant allies and affect our vibration. And if that's something that you're interested in taking a little bit deeper and learning more about, in my book, Discover the Essence of Plant Medicine, the 5 Principles of Life-Saving Herbs Cannabis Edition, we go over some of those amazing beneficial properties in depth in great greater detail. The book is about 650 pages. And enrollment is now open at Nature's Mysteries Academy of Holistic Health if you're interested in becoming a holistic health practitioner and learning how you can use plant allies and other energetic healing modalities in your practice to take your healing up a notch. At the end of our 12-week course, you can apply to the American Association of Drugless Practitioners to become a board-certified holistic health practitioner. So think of that, what that could do for your family, your own healing, and if you would like to turn your passion into your profession, if you love plants and helping others heal from them, then this is a great option for you. And we're actually having a payment plan options available, as well as partial scholarships. If that's something you're interested in, you can go to naturesmysteries.com and find out more information. You can always reach out to me at info@naturesmysteries.com or give us a call at 802-624-6540. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us on today's episode. And like I said, this whole month we're going to be learning about healing modalities. We're actually switching to our new schedule of every other Wednesday. We finished the Women's Empowerment and Spiritual Awakening Mother's Day, Mother-Daughter Weekend retreat. And it was so much fun to have the maidens there with us and teach them the ancient traditions that hopefully are not going to be lost, because we're going to make sure we keep them alive. And they made pendulums and spell bottles. Everyone went home with an activation spiritual toolbox, and they were able to put stickers on them of their choice and add their pendulums, and everyone got a spell kit. They had their choices of prosperity or self-love or increasing psychic awareness or protection. And the spell kits came with a little candle and spell oil that they could rub on it after they inscribed their intention on it and burn it down with their intention, and then a little tumbled stone to carry with them to remind them of their intention. And the whole weekend was just so magical and amazing, like it always is when women gather together, right? Never underestimate the magic that commences when a group of women gather. And to have the spiritual daughters there as well was just incredible, really. It was amazing. And I think that we might plan on doing that again next year. So if that's something you're interested in, you might want to just keep up following us and look out for updates on those retreats that'll be coming up next year. And again, like I said, thank you so much for joining us on the Wildflower Woo Woo Show. We hope that we help to open the door to your spirituality. Take care.